What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Montez Media. We got a special motherfucking guest in the building.
Hey, I'm cool.
We got Mr. Prynce Rose himself. What's going on, my boy?
What's up with you, man? It's a pleasure to be here, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Can't complain,
man.
man.
Always good to see the family.
Yeah, you know.
Always great.
Yeah, in a world of monkeypox, COVID, fucking rising prices on everything. Shit. How you feeling, man?
Oh, yeah, I'm scared, bro.
You scared?
I'm scared. There's so much shit going on in the world right now, bro.
Right.
It's just like, damn, when are we gonna catch a break? You
right,
know what I'm
exactly.
Like,
it's coming from all angles, bro.
All angles, bro. And I really, in my opinion, bro, I don't care what nobody say. I feel like it's a war going on. Like,
yeah.
This ain't no random shit just popping up. And
nah,
right. Bro, this some different shit. I'm scared.
The fact that it's all happening at the same time, it's like, hold up, what's really going on?
Exactly. That'd be my thing. Is like, did they know about this before it started going on?
You know they did.
Cause you know what I'm saying? Because
with
monkeypox, they was a little prepared for that.
Yeah,
so I feel like they must have knew that was about to happen.
Yep.
But I mean, honestly, in this day and age, I just feel I'm excited to be able to just take advantage of opportunities because that's all you can do nowadays, especially with social media kicking off.
Exactly.
The pandemic was low key one of the best things that could have happened to like art in a sense. Only because it gave people the freedom to really just stop caring about going out and really like owning into their brain and getting to know themselves and how they want to be creative and all that good stuff.
It almost forced you to do that.
Exactly.
Because it's like you didn't have a lot of options to waste your time on.
Exactly.
So it's like, and that's another thing they say. They say that restriction actually boosts your creativity.
You know what's crazy? That's true.
Yeah, that's true, right?
That's very true.
Right, because it's like, all right, imagine like making beats, right? So producer by trade. If you only say, look, I can only use 4 notes,
right?
It's gonna force you to be more creative because like there's only so much I can do. And I think that's what the pandemic did for a lot of creators. It forced you to kind of think outside the box. Like, I don't have this crutch. I can't lean on this person. I can't even go to the studio like that.
And then it was like responsibility was also taken care of too, because it was like, man, at the end of the day, during the pandemic, nobody had responsibility like talking about. Like everybody, you ain't have to go to work. You ain't have like just everyday responsibility. So you had so much time to just be in the house chilling, and that's why I always say, man, if you ain't take advantage of 2020 in some type of way, whether it was a personal growth, or whether it was a business growth, or whether it was something that you could have grown from that was, helping or gonna, really stamp you in the future, then man, you was losing, bro.
You was losing, bro.
You wasn't doing nothing.
If you ain't gonna do it, then you ain't never gonna do it.
You ain't never gonna do it, bro.
Right,
that said a lot.
Right.
Only thing that kind of sucked was that like artists like Lil Baby, in 2020 he had the biggest album in 2020, but he wasn't really able to reap the benefits of it because he wasn't able to go on tour.
The whole world shut down.
But now that the world back open, I feel like that made everybody even want to go out more. So now even more people gonna be at the tours, more people gonna be at the festivals and all that stuff. So I think it's a great thing. I think everything that's happening is happening for a reason.
Right.
It's scary, like I said, I'm scared. But at the same time,
not scared.
At the same time, I mean, it is what it is. We just we're gonna parlay and make it do what it do with what we got. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So for those that don't know, where are you from? Where did Prynce Rose start? How did this R&B passion, how did that all come about?
Well, so I grew up and born and raised in a small city, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Okay, shout out to Baton Rouge, shout out Boosie.
Yeah, shout out, Boosie, Gates, Young Boy, all of them, man, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I started off in a small city in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, man, and I always just kind of had an it factor about myself that I feel like I just always wanted to do something, whether it was music or business, but I always felt like it was something special that I was like, man, it's something, because I was always good at everything, you know what I mean? So it was like, not to sound like, like a great, but I was always like, anytime I was like really put my mind to something, I was always really good at it. So, but at the end of the day, nothing could take me away from music because I tried it. I tried to play sports, tried to play football, I tried to play soccer, I tried to play t-ball, all that stuff. But because my grandparents are pastors, I was raised in the church and I was always playing a drum set for my church. So it was like I was never really singing. I always knew I could sing in the back of my head, but I was always afraid to do it because where I'm from, like if you sing, you you soft.
You soft.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, man, I'm not about to come out here.
Come out singing.
Man, all these brothers.
With your unbuttoned shirt with no shirt under it.
Like, man, I can't do that, man. They about to look at me like, man, what's this little nigga singing, man? But nah, like, so like I was always, and that kind of goes to a backstory as to why I'm so good at my falsetto, because I used to always walk around the house, and even in the church when I was playing set, like I used to always sing like the different parts and the different harmonies in my falsetto, because I was trying to be low, because I didn't want nobody to hear me. So instead of like really belching and singing it out, I always be in my falsetto and always just like singing shit in my falsetto, because I was always just scared to let people know. Like my mama first time hearing me sing was when I was 16 years old.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
You were 16?
I was 16, bro. I never forget.
So time out, hold on. So you telling me you could sing for your whole life?
Yes. Yeah.
And probably arguably one of the closest people to you, your mom, she didn't even know.
No questions asked. The closest person to me had no idea.
Until you were 16?
Had no idea, bro.
So what, I know you mentioned, you know, I guess the environment growing up, you didn't want to be looked at as soft, or you didn't want to be looked at as, you know, not a tough guy, especially, you know, with us growing up.
Facts.
Being tough was everything.
Everything.
Like, you know, you had to be a gangster.
Exactly. Especially with me, because like my whole family, like I got a family full of gangsters. You know what I mean? And then my mama kept me shelter from that. So I already felt like I had a point to prove, because anytime they was outside, I'll be able to go outside with them. But it was sometimes where they'll be able to go to certain places, certain spots, certain little, you know, parties and shit like that. And that my mom was just like not really with. If I was with that crowd, she was like, I'm not letting you go. And so that kind of sheltered me. So I always felt like I had a point to prove when it came down to the aspect of life anyway, because that shit always in me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always like, that shit is in me. I can't never take it out. But my mama, she sheltered me from it so much to where I always felt like the side of me that's, you know, the college boy, the singer, R&B nigga with the chest out, like the side of me that shit was hidden for my whole life until I saw my mama cry. Like when I saw her cry from my voice, like that's when I opened my eyes, like I can really maybe do something.
So tell me about that. What led to that? What were you singing? Were you singing to her?
So it was actually a Disney Channel audition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, they had this Expo talent agency that came to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and they used to come, I think like 2 to 3 times a year, and they used to always land people shit with like Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, and like just getting kid stars out there. You know what I'm saying? So I always, my mom, that's one thing I can say about my mom, Brandon. I love her so much for this. Is she used to always, anytime I was wanting to do something, she was with it. Anytime I wanted to go to an audition, go to New Orleans, she used to drive me to New Orleans for auditions. Like she always saw it in me, you know what I'm saying? But we just always didn't have that financial stability because of the backstory with my pops. We'll get into that. You know? But you know, like we had it all and we lost it all basically. So it was just like a lot of shit we just wasn't able to do. But yeah, I was auditioning for Disney Channel, man, and we went to this place. We went to the first round. And it was at the hotel. We went there, and the first thing I had to do was they made you go to this like little table, and they had like little readings on there that you had to read. It wasn't nothing dealing with singing at this point. I'm auditioning for a role. Matter of fact, it was Shake It Up Chicago. You ever heard that? It was with Zendaya. Was Zendaya on Shake It Up Chicago? Yeah, Zendaya. You heard of Shake It Up Chicago, probably. I'm pretty sure. But you know, it was popular. It was a real popular Disney Channel show, and it was a specific role. It was a dude with curly hair. I don't remember what his name was on the show, but I was basically auditioning. He's
gonna be there for a role. Okay.
So, but I was in the auditions, and they made us read the script. I read the script, and made it to the next round. The next round, they made us, instead of just reading the script on the table, like whoever like did that good, they made the cuts. Whoever made it to the next round, we had to film actual commercial. Like it was like a quick 15-second commercial, but it was basically like a little spot where they had basically like this, like they had like a green screen skirt up over here. They had the tables with the screenings over there, and it was basically like a big ass ballroom. But I went and did the commercial, and after I did the commercial, they was like, "It's something about you. I really like you." You know what I mean? So I made it to the last round of the Baton Rouge auditions. Okay. After that one, you had to go to Orlando for like the final round.
Oh, wow.
Like this is when you actually start getting in front of like the writers for the TV show and all this good stuff. And so I was in the last round for the Baton Rouge audition, and after I did the commercial thing, they was like, "Man, I want you to go and, you know, sing for, not sing, but go and do a commercial for this agent or whatever." So I went into this room. It was just me, the agent at first. I go to the agent, and we do this line, and she was like, hey, do you know how to do anything else besides act? Like, can you dance? Can you sing? Like, what else can you do? I was like, yeah, I can do it all. I could dance, I could sing. Because back then, bro, you couldn't tell me I wouldn't have been Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell, like, in my head, like, at that point in time, I was like, yeah, man, like, you can't tell me I ain't gonna be the next Chris Brown.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I went in there and I told her I could sing, and I never forget I sung that there's a fire. There's what's the name of that song, bro? By Adele.
Adele, okay.
Rolling in the Deep.
Okay.
So I sang Rolling in the Deep by Adele, and so the lady was like, oh shit.
Yeah, she was like, oh, it's real.
You're right. She was like, okay, so you really talented. So now I got to get you in front of another agent. So when she was like, no, I got to let this other agent hear you sing, that's when I was like, oh. I was like,
you got something.
I might really, cause like, cause I had never got nobody else's opinion on my voice. I was always scared, cause I knew I didn't have like a church voice.
Right.
But so I was like, okay, I might could really do this. So I went to the next agent, but this time they was like, we want you to bring your mom and your grandmother in, just so they can, watch you. And she was like, have you ever sang in front of your mom? And I was like, nah. And so she was like,
were they shocked?
Bruh, when I got in there, bro, I literally started singing Rolling in the Deep. And I sung This Christmas. I started off singing This Christmas by Chris Brown.
Okay.
And as soon as I finished that song, I looked over and my mama was in tears.
She was in tears, dang.
Like she was basically just like.
She never knew.
Like, right. She was like, I did not know. And
does anybody in your family, anybody else in your family have a voice? Anybody musical background? Oh, okay.
My whole, like my dad's whole side.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like all my aunties on my dad's side can sing. Like they was all in the choir. My greatest aunt, T-Cent, she actually used to win like opera awards and stuff.
Oh, for real?
Sing opera.
Wow. Like, now opera, that's a different level.
Bruh.
Like man, you gotta project.
Bruh. she was cold. Like she used to win shit.
Wow.
Like, and her and both my aunts, her T-Net and T-Cent, like they got the most distinctive voices. Like if you ever hear them singing without like seeing them, you'll be able to know, oh yeah, that's Cent. Oh no, yeah, that's Net. Because they voices. Like they inspired me to sing. Like every time I used to hear their voice, I used to be like, man, I want to sound like them. Like,
right.
Like my aunts played a big part in my music career for sure. Like,
so growing up, I mean, you went the R&B route.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could have went the rap route.
Yes.
I'm sure you could have went the gospel route.
Yes.
What is it about R&B that drawed you to that? Like, were you a big R&B fan growing up? Who were your favorite artists, favorite songs, that type of thing?
Bruh, like my favorite artist back then was definitely like my number one was Usher.
Usher. Okay.
But like growing up, oh my God, what?
Usher.
Oh my God.
Usher's like, that guy.
Bro, you gotta think about it. See, back when those days, when we was growing up, bro, it was like you had Usher, he was on this nice little run and he disappeared out of nowhere, right? For a little second. I'll never forget this, bro. I was probably like 5, 6, 7 years old. He disappeared out of nowhere, and I think this was after Confessions or some shit. And then he dropped like that was his first big single back.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, oh,
you're right.
This nigga is back.
Yeah, Usher.
And I'll never forget, man, me and my cousins, we made a rap group called BBQ and all this shit.
That BBQ.
Like, yeah, we
little barbecue.
But our names was like, they used to call me Bubba back at home.
Okay.
It was basically BJ, Bubba, and Quentin.
Right.
So that was basically our little group. They was rappers and I was the singer basically of the group. But I used to rap.
But that's so age appropriate though.
Yeah.
It's like, teenager, that's what you expect from like a, young teenage, preteen group, BBQ, something funny.
Man, you couldn't tell us that we wasn't like the next B2K Usher.
Right.
Like really, those artists solidified R&B for me as a whole because they brought a different element to it than like the 80s and 90s R&B. Because 80s and 90s R&B was more so all about ballads and just falling in love.
Right.
2000 R&B is when you started getting to really like dancing partying, but you also mixing that love stuff in there too. Yeah. That's why Usher was so great.
Yeah.
Because he'll make you want to dance one time, and then the next thing you know, you in the corner crying.
Crying,
you know what I'm saying?
He just hitting every emotion.
Exactly.
Hitting every emotion.
That's what just made me open my eyes to being like, oh, this is a genre where I can just really do so much. And then, man, I wasn't I used to rap, but that wasn't me.
You wasn't about to,
You know what I'm saying? That wasn't me, man. That wasn't my life. So.
Quick story about Usher, man. From Atlanta, so, this Usher hometown, so. I never forget, bro. I had to be like 6 years old, 5, 6 years old. Me, my mom, and my 2 cousins came down here, right? So we riding, I don't even know, we probably was on 285, 20, something like that. We riding, all of a sudden, my mom go crazy. She like, oh, it's Usher, y'all, it's Usher. Usher riding next to us in the drop top, bro.
Swear to God.
On 285, bro. I think it was 285. Usher just speed. You know, I'm young. I'm like, Usher. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Man, but she going crazy. I'm like, dang.
Man, that had to be what year? Like 90?
90, I don't even remember, bro. 98, 99, something like that. I don't know. It was a long time ago. She going crazy, bro. She like, it's Usher, y'all. It's Usher. Oh, my God.
You got to think about it.
He was that man.
What exactly?
He's that man.
Like Usher was the Michael Jackson after Michael Jackson. Like in that era, you cannot tell me it was nobody that was topping Usher. Same way that it is with Chris Brown right now. Like that's why it's such a big debate between this whole versus
Usher versus
shit with Usher and Chris Brown.
Who you got, man? Usher versus Chris Brown right now.
Usher all day.
Usher all day.
Usher all day. Only reason why I say that is because when you talk about really owning the genre of R&B, hands down Usher.
Hands down.
Like there is not one thing that you can tell me that Chris Brown done did.
Yeah.
That Usher didn't already do. It wouldn't be a Chris Brown if it wasn't for Usher. You know what I'm saying? Not to say, and I'm not knocking, because you couldn't tell me I wasn't the next Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? Because Chris Brown was like Usher was my Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And Chris Brown was my Usher.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You
see what I'm saying? Like,
so like
Chris Brown is really like right now, a lot of my music is inspired by Chris Brown.
Okay.
But Usher is like my foundation. You see what I'm saying? But I just always feel like you can't put them two together, bro. It's a total, because Chris is like the Prince of Pop. You know what I'm saying? Under Michael Jackson, who's the king of pop. But then you got R&B, man, ain't nobody the king besides Usher.
Usher.
That is Usher.
Usher, you hear that? Usher, you the guy, man. I don't know which camera. Usher, you the guy, bro.
Look, if you ever need somebody to open up for you on tour,
this is your guy. This is your guy. So fast forward, obviously you get to college, right? Drum major.
Yeah.
And let everybody know what college you went to?
I went to the Southern University Agriculture and Mechanical College. You know what I mean?
So, obviously, being a drum major, being in that whole performance atmosphere, what do you think, what skills or what talents or what did you learn from that part of your life that kind of helps you with your artistry now, being an R&B singer and performer?
Really, honestly, just taking it and not being scared. You know what I mean? Like, because one thing about the drum major with Southern University is it's just you out there.
Right.
It's like, you know, some schools got 4 drum majors, some schools got 12, some schools got 5, you know what I'm saying? But with Southern, it's 1.
Okay.
So when you out there and you performing in front of thousands of people, like, especially like I remember one game, man, it was the Jackson State game, and I looked in the crowd, and then they even said on the intercom, it was like the record-breaking attendance. It was like 60-something thousand people in the audience. Like for HBCU, that's huge.
That's huge.
You know what I'm saying? Like HBCUs usually probably do around 20 to 30,000 people on average. So 60,000 people. So and then by your classic, the same thing. It's like 40 to 60,000 people. But it just taught me to not be scared, man. Because at the end of the day, you either gonna live in the moment, and you're gonna let this moment either break you or make you. You know what I mean? And I had so many. I used to do crazy shit as a drum major too, so I had a lot of stuff that could have either made or break me. And the thing I had to think about was just don't be scared. And every time, like I went out there and I just had full confidence, and basically confidence is key. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So when you perform now, you know, going from performing in front of 60,000 people, they may be your fans, they may be fans from other schools that try to hate on you. Do you still feel like a sense of nervousness? Like, do you still get nervous, or do you compare your moments performing now to those big moments then?
It's a different stage now.
It's a different stage now.
So I definitely still get nervous, only because it's like, when it came down to being a drum major, you know, I got there, it was just me, you know what I'm saying, as drum major, but I also had a monster of a band that was behind me, backing me. So I always knew that these niggas had my back if I fall.
Okay.
I'm on stage for my music, it's just me.
It's just you,
It's like, I'm representing like Top Floor and everybody who I'm tied to.
Shout out B-Lax, Top Floor.
Shout out B-Lax, you know what I'm saying? But I'm representing everybody I'm tied to, but at the end of the day, it's just me out there. So if I fall, if I bust my ass, they're not gonna say, oh, Top Floor fucked up. They're gonna say, oh, Prynce Rose fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's a different stage. I get nervous, but like I always do take myself back to that time when I was in front of those 60, 70,000 people doing drum major, and I'm just like, man,
you built for it.
Yeah, like you've been under the lights. Like, what you nervous for? Like, all you gotta do is show confidence, because honestly, like I said, that taught me is to never be scared, which brought confidence. Like, and if you go on stage and you be confident, the more confidence I am on stage, the more comfortable I feel. And so I just go out there, and that's kind of why I created the new character, Prynce Rose, because I just wanted to own that confidence. You know what I'm saying?
So, now I'm gonna get to that too. I'm gonna get to the Prynce Rose thing, but you know, being an R&B singer in this climate, you know, everybody's running around saying R&B's dead. Yeah. Everybody's saying it's no more R&B. It's more rap. Yeah. Sing song rap. It's you know, killing. It's back to the gangster thing.
It is. But
so, do you feel like first of all, do you feel like R&B is dead? And second of all, did T-Pain kill R&B? Did he kill it?
Oh my God! Hell no! Hell no! T-Pain did not kill R&B. I'm going on record saying that T-Pain did not kill R&B. Actually brought a pretty cool element to it. But is R&B dead? System-wise, yes.
Okay. What do you mean by that, system-wise?
The system doesn't support R&B how they support rap music. Okay. And it's not, and I don't even feel like it's because that's what the system wants. Yeah. But at the end of the day, that's what the audience responds to. Like, and everybody always, and it's kind of a sensitive topic for me, because I really get pissed off sometimes, because I hate when I go around hearing people say R&B dead or this and that, but it's like, anytime somebody dropping something R&B, y'all not supporting it like y'all dropping. Like, if Giveon drops something, they not about to post that like they do if Lil Baby drops something. You know what I'm saying? Or like if Dirk drops something, like they not gonna push it as much. Because not like the lifestyle that we live nowadays, everything is about being hyped and being lit. So it's a real hard time to put R&B in there, but I feel like if the audience really paid attention to it as much as they complain about it, then the system wouldn't have a choice but to push it more. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, if you think about the 2000s, that's all they was pushing. Like, that's all they had.
R&B, and it had so many different forms of it. Yes. And everybody sounded different.
Yes, bro.
I think that was a big thing. It's like you had, of course, like you said, the Ushers, T-Pains, the Chris Browns. Yes. And it's like they all filled their own lane. Exactly. But it's like you can almost interchange the artist with the song. Bruh. It's like, all right, you got this song, but it sounds like somebody else singing it.
Honestly, bro, like, and the most thing, like, for me, excuse me, but for me, like, for this generation, how can I say, like, the headliners of R&B right now is people, I would say, like Summer Walker. You got of course, Giveon, Brent Fayez, and then you got, who else is, Masego and people like that. Like, you got people that's coming up in the R&B world, but I feel like everybody's trying to sound like them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like once somebody makes it in R&B nowadays, it's like people start getting excited, like, oh, R&B is finally kind of started getting a buzz. Let me sound like this so I can try to get a buzz too. Yeah. But it's like, man, nah, man, that's why I feel like R&B was so big back then. Yeah. Because with this rap, like, people coming with different lanes. Like, it used to be everybody sounding like the Migos, but now you got everybody that's sounding totally different than the next artist. So, I don't know, man. I just feel like we need to make the people love R&B more and just keep giving them something to want to actually make the system push it. You feel me? But
so where did so I noticed that the Rose is a reoccurring theme. Yeah. I see that everywhere. It's in your text messages. It's on your iPhone. It's on your page. Where did the Prynce Rose persona come from, and why Prynce Rose? Why not King Rose?
I like that. But really, man, it was deeper than just coming up with a name. For me, it was really a reason and a process behind it. Because whenever I was Brendan G, so many people knew me, you know, as Brendan. Like, so many people, and I was always my most vulnerable self when I was Brendan. So it was always like, Brendan is more self-conscious. He's more like, you know, not as confident when it comes down to the music and shit. Right. And you know what I'm saying? But it's like, not even, I don't know, man. I wasn't really feeling like I was able to really do what I wanted with Brendan G. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel like I built a brand around, you know, me and my YouTube channel, me and my girlfriend, and with my college days. And like, I just wanted to completely separate myself like from my artistry. Because with my artistry, I wanted to come in and unapologetically be whoever I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? And really just own who I am. And I really wanted to, one of my main things in this industry is to bring back love.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so,
thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, that's
there ain't enough of that going around.
It's like to bring back love. I want to give people music, you know, to really love their women too, you know what I'm saying? Make babies too,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Dance with their girls on the dance floor.
Okay,
Really, like I want to be able to really uplift women, and I feel like the symbol of romance is a rose. Like anytime you think of being sweet to your girl, you know, randomly giving her flowers is usually roses. You know, Valentine's Day is a rose thing. It's just a symbol of love to me. And then with the Prynce thing, I looked up my name to see what Brendan meant. I just one day was like, man, I don't know what my name means. Brendan actually means Prince.
Wow.
And so I was like, oh, cool. That's actually kind of dope.
Yeah.
I was like, Prynce Rose. I said, hold up.
Yeah.